Hi guys, on today's video I'm going to be showing you a strategy we use to save our deposit in less than a year. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Precious. On this channel we give great insight on family, relationship and lifestyle. If you're interested in any of this topic, please press the subscribe button and also, most importantly, press the notification bell. So we're going to be talking about budgeting. When it comes to finance, when it comes to money, it's so important that you know what is going on with your money. Money is hard to get, but very easy to spend. So we're going to be talking about budgeting. Budgeting basically is knowing how much comes into your account or how much you get and how much you want to spend, which is very difficult sometimes because people get money and they just spend. They don't really have a budget on how to spend their money. So budget is very simple to set out, but very important to manage effectively. So when it comes to budgeting, we're going to be looking at two important things. The first thing we're going to be looking at is your income. How much do you get at the end of the month? Don't forget that you can get income in different ways. You can get the end income, which is the salary income, the portfolio income, which is basically where you buy stock or buy shares and sell it for higher price. You also have the passive income, which you're not actively involved in, but you make money off it. So these are the three ways that people make money. These are the three ways that we make money, but there is one way that almost everyone make money, which is the end income, the salary income, where you go to work, put your time and they pay you for the time that you've put in. So how much do you earn? It's amazing that some people don't really know in details how much comes into their account, especially for people that do like 0-hour contracts. They do jobs where they don't have a fixed income. So this month it can be different from the other month. So what I would suggest you do is have an average of your income, like an average of maybe 5 to 6 months. With that, you'll be able to know how much comes into your account. Some months is going to be higher. I would even encourage that it comes higher, but you know the average of your income. I would suggest also, if you can, to do these calculations on a spreadsheet or on an Excel, which is going to be easier for you. Put your income, everything that you get, on one side of your spreadsheet. So now that you know how much comes into your account, in details how much comes into your account, you want to look at your expenses, everything that you spend, like every single thing that you spend. The easiest way you can be able to track your expenses by looking at your statement of account, or looking at your credit card statement, or you look at your shopping receipts. Another thing I'm going to advise you as well is that whenever you go shopping, try to keep your receipt. That would be able to help you to know how much you spend on grocery. So list out every of your expenses. Don't keep anyone aside. Every of your expenses should be on this other side of the list. So now that you've looked at your income and you've looked at your expenses, you have to compare both. If your income is higher than your expenses, fantastic. If your expenses is higher than your income, now we need to do something about it because it's not a good sign. Your income should be higher than your expenses. What you get at the end of the month should be bigger than what you spend at the end of the month. So there are three ways which we can address if your income is lower or if your expenses is higher than your income. Three ways where we can address it is: the first way is to track your budget. So now you want to know how much actually you spend. Let's use your grocery as an example. How much do you spend on grocery? Do you really know how much you spend? So you want to track it for like a month. After tracking it for a month, you would be able to know how much you spend on grocery, how much actually you spend, your real expenses. Based on tracking your budget or based on tracking these expenses, you'll be able to come up with a budget on how much you want to spend. Okay, because if you don't track it, you just decide I'm going to be spending £50 every month. it may not be enough for you. It may just be okay, that's what you want to do, but in reality it won't work for you. So the best way for you to be able to set a budget is by tracking your expenses and knowing how much you are going to be spending, or setting out how much based on tracking your expenses, because if you now have an idea of how much you spend at the end of the week or at the end of the month, depending on how you're tracking, if you now know the average of how much you spend, then based on that you set your budget. When you set your budget, you also have to track your budget, because if you set a budget and not really follow it up, when you say you're going to be spending £50 every week, next week when you go shopping you spend £51, the other week when you go shopping you spend £52, at the end of the day you're not sticking to your budget. So you have to first of all know how much that you spend, how much you need to spend, then track how much that you've decided to be spending. That's one way you can actually balance your income to your expenses. Another way you can balance your income to your expenses is reducing costs. There are certain things that we have, or certain things that we use that we don't really need. Okay, we can actually reduce or cut it out completely, or ditch it completely. And second, there are certain things that we enjoy, but we can actually do without it as well. So there are two things I've just mentioned. One thing is something that you don't need and you're just paying for it. For example, there are some subscriptions that we have that we don't need. And the other part of it is something that you like, you enjoy, but you can actually do without it. So if you manage to have these two things and cut it out completely, most likely your income going higher and your expenses going down. So that's how you can balance. Another way that you can balance your income to your expenses. Another thing people do is to basically look for another job, get maybe more job, 1 or 2 jobs to what they have. If you have the time, you can get more jobs to be able to meet your needs, because obviously your expenses is higher than your income. So you don't want to do something where you're working, but the money that you spend at the end of the month is way higher than the money that comes into your account. So you want to look at having another job, you want to try other streams of income, you want to start a business, you want to do something that would give you additional money to the basic one, or to the one that you already have. So if you can do these 3 things, most likely you're going to balance your expenses to your income. Please guys, don't forget, when it comes to budgeting has to do with sacrifice. Okay, there's no way that you want to live the best life, you want to live the luxurious life, and you still want to budget, you still want to save. And budgeting as well is going to help you when it comes to savings. I know most people really want to save. Budgeting is going to help you when it comes to savings. So if you want to really budget to enable you to save, you need to reduce cost, you need to cut down on things that you don't need, and you need to sacrifice. Sacrifice is the big word when it comes to budgeting. You need to sacrifice. So these are the steps that we took: the income, the expenses, balancing it both, cutting down on things that we don't need. We did this for less than a year, and we managed to save for our deposits. If you don't know your numbers, if you don't know how much you're spending, you don't know how much comes into your account, you're most likely wasting money, or most likely losing money without knowing. There's something I did recently which you may find of interest. I decided to look around the things that I have in my house that I don't need, and I found out so many things that I have I don't need. This is going to help me not to buy those things again, because I know that I don't need them. I know I'm not going to eat those things, so what's the point buying it? So it's going to help me to stick to my budget. So these are the strategies that we used to be able to get our mortgage in less than a year. I'm going to be making more videos on how to cut down your expenses, the things that you can do to cut down your expenses, or the expenses that you can cut down. I'm going to be making videos on that, and I'm also going to be making more videos. Like, there will be more videos, there's so many more videos to finances. You'll be surprised, as someone who works and with children, it is very difficult to save. But I've been able to do things, I've been able to save, I've been able to break through, and I really want to share with you how I have managed to save with 3 kids. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I believe that you're going to put these things into practice. Budgeting is simple, very, very simple. The most important thing is just to manage it effectively. So thank you, guys. Let me know what you think on the comment section about budgeting, how you managed to cut down on your expenses, the things you did to be able to balance your expenses to your income, and how you came out of debt if you were in debt at some point in your life. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, just before you go, you're watching my video, you need to support me. Please press the subscribe button and press the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up and drop your comment on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Be grateful, be positive, and be yourself.